here on WEEI Afternoons. Which Patriots player is most primed for a breakout season in 2025? So optimistic, right? If they're going to be good, there's going to be some breakout years, surprise contributors, guys not only living up to but surpassing expectations. Can I pose one first?
Please, by all means.
I don't want to play Fitzy's side of the street here, but I think Trayvon Henderson, the rookie second-round running back, has a legitimate chance to be a Rookie of the Year type candidate, a legitimate chance to be a key contributor on this offense, a guy who, we've seen it, he has the speed and the electric playmaking ability to catch the ball and go to the house, or run the ball, hit a hole, hit a seam, go to the house. I'm not saying he's going to be your workhorse, but we're trending toward an NFL with Jahmyr Gibbs, for example, the role he had in Detroit, where you're not an every down guy, but when you're out there, the defense is afraid of you because you could take it to the house on any play. I think Trayvon Henderson could be a real key cog in this offense and a star that people fall in love with.
Yeah, interesting. It's hard to argue against that. Obviously, I think there's going to be a lot of quick passing games. I think he's just a much better receiver than Ramondre Stevenson, and so I see him being involved in more third down packages. Thus, being if you're third down, a third down player, it's the money down. You usually are kind of a big time player. You make big plays, and so I think he'll be out there more in those kind of crunch situations there on third down. I would not surprise me if he does have a breakout year. I just think he's a dynamic back, and you saw how important it's funny how trends work in the NFL. For several years, the NFL did not put much stock in running backs.
Yep.
And then last year, the Super Bowl winner, the straw that stirred the drink for that winning Super Bowl team, the Philadelphia Eagles, was a running back.
Yep.
And so I love running backs just because I have so much respect because I had to go against them. Tight ends, and a lot of times those two positions just don't get their due. But they're hugely important to offenses.
Do you also subscribe to sort of the accepted idea theory that a running back is one of the easier positions as a rookie to come in, contribute, get reps,
it is,
get opportunities?
I would say so. The hardest part for, I think, a rookie running back is just blitz pickup.
Right.
But I was at mini camp for a couple days, as you guys know, and I saw some advanced blitzes coming at Trayvon, and man, he had them like no problem. So they will, and you always hear this about Josh McDaniels, he'll never put a guy out there running back that can't pick up the blitz. So if he can pick up the blitz, which it looks like he can, and that was one of the things coming in from college was how good he was at picking up blitz.
Absolutely.
Then that, to me, that's all you need to really worry about. He's got that covered. Then he'll probably play a lot.
I'm looking forward to it. Okay, who you got?
This is a guy that needs to have a breakout year. And am I an a-hole for suggesting a guy that's coming off of blood clots needs to have a big year? But I got to see something more out of Christian Barmore. I just have never – I've never been that impressed with him. And people think he's a dominating player. He was a guy that was drafted, in the early second round, but then thought, he could have gone high first. I've never seen it. He got paid. I mean, a record salary.
Second biggest guarantee for a New England Patriot in history, only behind Tom Brady.
It's incredible. I've never seen the Patriots pay a player that had done so little to get that money. And so to me, there's a lot of pressure on him. Assuming he's healthy, he should have a breakout year, particularly with Milton Williams now. So Milton Williams is going to command double teams. So that means that Christian Barmore should have more one-on-one opportunities. I get to the quarterback, bro. Make more of an impact. I got to see more out of him.
Yeah, he was a guy I considered. He was on my sort of group of 5 or 6 of them. And I do think the Milton Williams addition, because 2 years ago when Barmore was pretty good, he got double-teamed a lot. And that's a tip of the hat from the opposing offensive line. Like, you're the guy we care about. We start with you. Well, with Milton Williams, who makes more money than him now, he's the $100 million man next to the $90 million man. He may get more attention, and that may bring opportunities for Barmore because there is definitely talent there. He definitely has and I'm not saying he's this guy, but there's a little Richard Seymour to him in terms of athletic,
How dare you?
Size.
You think size,
power? Yeah, I think there is a.
He's that big, huh?
Yeah, there's a package there
Okay.
that can be Seymourian and impactful for a defensive line. And if he's kind of the second fiddle there, absolutely he could ride the coattails of Milton Williams to actually getting to the quarterback, putting some numbers up, making some plays, not just being a guy you pay to eat up a couple blockers to let other people make plays. So I think he's a guy, and he needs to. Like, at some point, you got to poop or get off the pot kind of thing with him.
Yeah.
Especially, I know the blood clots are a health thing, not a football thing, but, at some point, you got to get back. It's your job.
I know. And I do. Can I just, real quick, so I played against Tommy Frazier, quarterback for Nebraska, who had blood clots. And he missed a lot of this. My senior year, it was his sophomore year or whatever. He missed a lot of games. He came back though, and then they came back again. Right? It's one of those things that just because it goes away doesn't mean it won't come back again. So you gotta be careful. But hopefully that's behind him, and he can be the player that we all think he should be.
All right, my next guy is a guy I think you're going to push back against. I think you might push back against strongly. Pop Douglas. I bought into him. Oh, you got him on the list. Okay. Pop Douglas, I thought was going to be better last year than he was. And for a lot of reasons, it didn't work out. I actually didn't love his attitude. I thought he kind of, in that group of Javon Baker, and I think he got dragged down and became a me and a negative guy in Polk.
Bad coaching.
Yes. There was a lot of layers to it. So I'm kind of just giving him.
I think they brought him down.
Yes.
A little bit,
a little mulligan that was just a bad year, because I do think he's quick. I do think he is more than just a traditional slot receiver. I do think he can make some plays that are catch and run, get down the little Deion Branch-esque a little bit, because I never thought Deion was the traditional slot receiver. He was small and he was quick and he could get open fast, but he also had a more robust route tree, I guess we would say. And Pop Douglas, even if he is just a slot, we know Josh McDaniels likes slot receivers. They are a big part of his offense traditionally over the years, where it is a volume position. If you can get open and catch the football in Josh McDaniels' offense as a slot receiver, you're going to get targeted a boatload of times. Not just here, right? Hunter Renfrow did it. Other guys have done it in other offenses for Josh McDaniels. So I think Pop Douglas is going to be targeted, whatever it is, 140 times or something this year. And I don't think it's crazy if you're right and they have a good year for the Patriots, I don't think it's crazy for him to catch 90 to 110 balls in this offense as a volume guy. I really don't. Am I overly optimistic?
No, because when you think about it, like you go, okay. I mean, they do have two quality tight ends, and I think they might even have a third. I like kind of the tight ends. When I was watching them at minicamp, they got besides Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, they have some other guys that I think can be. I get the point is they don't have a dominating wide receiver room,
right?
That I think where it's like Steph Diggs, unless if he's just having a breakout year and you're feeding him balls, that can impact DeMario's targets. But I think from everything I'm hearing is they're really loving Pop, and that being Josh, he's a guy that was going to work the middle of the field. The best friend for a quarterback is always the guys that work the middle of the field.
Yep,
and get open fast. And I think, and that's what Pop does. So it's not the craziest thing to think that he could have 90 catches. The only thing I might push back is, this is a team that's going to want to be ground and pound, ball control.
Yep.
And, back in the day when Tom was here, Wes Welker would get 90 catches. I mean, hell, he got over 100 all the time. Julian Edelman, but it was Tom Brady, and they weren't like this ball control offense. It was open. So, the only thing I would push back is that I think there's going to be more of a slower paced offense. So 90's a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
And maybe he just leads the team in catches. Maybe 90's too many, and maybe
it's more realistic.
The leader in receptions. Yeah. Okay, who's the next one for you? The last one for you.
It's an obvious.
Okay.
Christian Gonzalez.
Okay.
So you go, okay, well,
he was All-Pro last year.
He was. So I'm thinking first team All-Pro.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe Defensive Player of the Year.
Whoa.
Kind of thing is where I'm going.
D-boy.
So I think he's got a little Defensive Player of the Year kind of qualities to him. I think
Steph Gilmore,
a top 5, top 10 defensive player in the league. And so I'm going with Christian Gonzalez, even though last year he was second team All-Pro. I expect him to go to first team. And, I think if he stays healthy, he's a guy that would be trending to a a nice HOF kind of career.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
So we just went from All-Pro to Defensive Player of the Year to, you mean big HOF, gold jacket HOF?
Big HOF.
Not red jacket HOF.
Big,
I mean, that'll get there too. If
he's tougher than he gets credit for.
Wow.
When he plants his back foot and breaks on the ball, there's not a guy that plants and gets to the ball faster than Christian Gonzalez.
Wow. He left Colorado, right, and ended up at Oregon.
Yeah.
There's still a little buff love there. I know how you work.
Yeah.
I know there's still a little buff love there.
Bit.
All right, Christian Gonzalez, breakout year on the way to a Hall of Fame career. Ted Johnson likes him, the Patriots, this year. We also got
17th overall pick, and a lot of people thought he should have been a top 10.
Oh, he absolutely should have gone much higher. Yeah. And that's going to play out more and more over the years. That's going to become more and more of a steal where they got him in the draft. But Trayvon Henderson, Pop Douglas, Christian Barmore, Christian Gonzalez.